Welcome back to Group X Appeal, the show where group fitness meets real life. And this week, we are diving deep into a powerful series we're calling Dads Who Empower, celebrating dads this month. So today's guest isn't just any dad. He is a pioneer, a creator, a motivator, and yes, my brother from another mother here. I have the honor of flipping the mic on my co-host and my dear friend, the one and only Terry Shorter. Terry is the founder of Ripped, the one-stop body shop, a nationally recognized fitness format that has impacted thousands of instructors and participants across the globe. But beyond the brand, Terry is a dedicated father and a man on a mission to uplift lives through movement and music and mentorship. And in today's conversation, we go behind the scenes of the spotlight to talk about fatherhood, balance, discipline, and the responsibility that comes with being a role model, both on and off the mic. So buckle up, because today, Group X Appeal gets personal with one of the realest ones in the game right here. Welcome to Group X Appeal. I'm Kimberly Spring-Glick.
And I'm Terry Shorter. We're excited to bring you this hot and sweaty podcast.
With over 25 years of experience each in the health and fitness industry, we're here to share hilarious, heartwarming stories from our lives and careers.
And offer practical nutrition tips, expert exercise advice, and strategies for holistic well-being and a positive mindset.
Group X Appeal is your go-to source for inspiration, motivation, and a few laughs along the way.
So tune in and let us help you be the healthiest, happiest version of you.
Welcome back. I could not be more excited about the episode that we have for you today, because this month, the month of June, of course, this is Father's Day month. So we decided to focus on dads out there who are in the health and fitness industry, who are doing the great work of empowering others while being amazing fathers. And I happen to have one of the most amazing fathers in the world sitting right across the table from me. So I get to ask you some questions
sweet.
today.
Woo! Awesome. I can't wait. What do we have?
Oh, we got
How
some goodies.
many? Are they tough questions?
We have 50 questions.
50 questions. Are they multiple choice? Where's my Scantron?
Fill in the blank. It's okay. You can use ChatGPT.
That'll work. Let's go.
I love it. Shall we dive in?
Let's dive in. Let's dive in
All
deep.
right. First question I have for you, Mr. Shorter. So how has being a father influenced your approach to your personal fitness, and then also the work that you do in the fitness industry?
Great question, and thank you for asking.
Oh, well played. Well played.
So I think how being a father has influenced my personal fitness and as a fitness professional would be just one word: patience.
Oh, wow.
It's patience.
Tell me more.
I would have to say, being a dad of a daughter,
Yeah.
has definitely brought a much greater sense of patience for so many different reasons. Number one, I'm one of three boys, so I've got two younger brothers. I'm the oldest. I'm the example, the crash dummy, whatever you want to call it. And so growing up with boys is a lot different than dealing with females. I wasn't accustomed to that. And so raising a daughter, I had to be a lot more in tune with, first of all, my emotions.
No doubt.
And
her emotions.
Absolutely. And so that was one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, and it's still I'm still a work in progress, and how that has kind of overflown into my personal fitness is, before I was a dad, I wanted things right now when it came to fitness. I wanted to, get stronger. I wanted to get leaner. I wanted to get faster as quickly as possible. I wanted that like yesterday, right? But after, becoming a dad and developing this greater sense of patience, I'd say, I've learned to really enjoy the process that I'm in at that present moment, the here and now, and know that it's a journey. It's not a race. I'm in it for the long haul to get the results that I want from a personal, from my own personal fitness. And then in terms of how patience kind of flows over into my work, it's the same thing. Just being, I think patience goes hand in hand with being mindful.
Sure.
Being a lot more mindful, being a lot more present with people, spending more quality time with them, looking them in the eyes and like pretending like there's nothing else that's going on around, any distractions or anything going around us. When we're having a one-on-one or when, even in a group, setting, I try to make eye contact with every single person that I'm working with and have that sense of patience with everybody
I can say from
encounter.
experience, you're very good at that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try my best. So
Cool.
I'd say that's the number one quality that I think I've had the great chance and privilege to develop from being a dad.
You heard it here. Patience. Patience is the key. So what strategies have you found most effective for making, quality time available with your daughter while kind of juggling, managing? I mean, you don't just have a career, like you're an entrepreneur. You started Ripped, which is the one-stop body shock, and you got Ripped Planet, which now also encompasses Rumble. If y'all don't know Rumble, that's another fitness brand that incorporates martial arts, and it's just phenomenal. So you've got this juggling of quality time with your daughter and then the time that you got to put into your career and the work that you're doing and the business that you've built and all the different projects that I know you take on to be able to make a difference in the world. How do you do it?
Well,
What are your strategies?
I think, our daughter Tani, who I call Smoothie.
Yeah.
Her stage name is Keone. She's got so many
Yes.
different names.
I am Keone
She
on
is
Instagram.
Keone. Yeah, she's all over the place. She's grown up now. She's a woman. She'll be 22.
Woo, stop it.
Yeah,
No.
22 in the next 3 months. Wow. 3 months from now, she'll be 22 years old. So, and she's off and running. She's doing her own thing. She is living her best life and she's doing it well, taking her talents, her aspirations, her love, her passions, and she's making a career out of those things, which makes me so happy as a dad. But, in the earlier years when Tina and I first had our own, when we were working together in the banking industry, we were super busy. We were constantly on the telephone, constantly on our computers, sending and receiving emails. We were constantly texting. We're working. We were, running our own sales office. And we had to make it a point in order to have that solid quality of life that we wanted as a family. And for our daughter, we knew that it was important to make sure that we put aside and scheduled quality time with her. So work wouldn't overflow and kind of take over our lives completely. Right. And so I mentioned this on one of our earlier podcasts. We created what was called Tawny Time.
Tawny Time. I remember.
So, we had to create Tawny Time. So we had to, didn't have to. What we chose to do was block out a specific, time on our schedules where we would not answer the telephone. We would not answer texts. We would not be on our computers. It would be completely focused, devoted time and committed time to her, whatever she wanted to do. And so from that career moving into fitness was an interesting transition because banking wasn't something I enjoyed at all. It wasn't something I felt was my calling.
That's shocking. I thought for sure he would just stay.
It was not.
In that industry.
It was not. But making that transition from banking into fitness, we wanted to maintain that same harmony and that same alignment that we developed when we were, in the banking industry. And so what fitness allowed us to do was to, like you said in one of the earlier episodes last month during the Moms Who Inspire episode that you were featured in, by having our own business, we were able to create our own schedules. We were able to have the latitude, the flexibility to enjoy Tawny's, go to her rehearsals, go to her softball practices, volleyball practices. What else did she do? Horseback riding. She did everything. Swimming. As an only child, we wanted to make sure that she experienced as many different activities as possible, extracurricular activities as possible, so she can find what, really spoke to her. But also we wanted to find different activities where she could, she could collaborate with other people and cooperate with other people in team environments for the most part. But in any event, One of the things that we did was, again, we carved out that time for her practices, to go to her rehearsals, to go to her shows, to go to any special events that she had. It had to be scheduled. And one of the great things that fitness allowed us to do, not only gave us that flexibility, that latitude, or because we got that flexibility and latitude, we didn't miss a thing.
Yeah.
Never missed a single event of hers. Got to drop her off at school, got to pick her up after school. And so that afforded us that quality of life that I always wanted. I never
Amazing.
saw myself chained to a desk. That was something I was just absolutely not going to do, because I knew the importance of spending that quality time with my children. Even as a even as a kid, I knew that that I wanted to make sure that I was doing essentially what my mom and dad were doing. They went to all our practices.
Aww.
They went to all our games, all our rehearsals, all our shows and everything, myself and my brother. So they set, I think, a really great example of that, early on.
Incredible.
And so wanted to model that. So.
And you have.
It's worked all right.
Yeah. Well,
It's worked pretty well.
Tani has grown into an incredible woman, as you said. Woman. 22-year-old woman?
It feels weird to say that.
I know.
It feels really weird to say that.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Seems like yesterday. I was holding her in my arms and just loving on her.
I know it's cliche, but it really does go so fast.
It does.
Like when they
Way
always
too
used to
fast.
say, whenever you have a baby, what does everyone say? Don't blink.
Right.
Like, don't blink. But it's kind of true.
It is true.
Oh, my goodness.
It is true. If I only knew then what I know now.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. All right. I have another question for you. Mm-hmm. So how would you guide other fathers to be able to help them help their kids have a healthy relationship with health and fitness?
Do the do.
Do the do, like Mountain Dew?
Not that do. Not the D-E-W, the D-O.
Okay.
Don't just talk the talk, walk the walk. Kids don't listen. They see, they watch us. They emulate. They want to emulate whatever it is that we do. And we have to be the example. We have to be the role models. We have to be the ones that are walking the walk, not just talking the talk. And so, that was a super, and still is a super important part of my life, is not just saying I'm going to do something, but actually getting out there and doing it, taking the necessary steps, taking the necessary action, and following through.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when our kids can see that, we're taking action, and we're setting specific goals, we're pursuing those goals, and then we're, working hard to pursue those goals on a regular and consistent basis. When they see that we accomplish those things, they see the possibilities for themselves. And so, whether it be working out on a regular basis, going to the gym, was and still is a very important part of our day, and of our week, and of our lives. It's part of our lifestyle.
And I know Tani's taken your classes too, your dance classes.
She has.
Which is so fun.
And to be honest, she did not enjoy going to the gyms early on as a young child.
Gotcha. Sure.
Yeah, because she was usually going to the kids club, or
Tyler hated that too.
Right, could not stand it. But once she reached the age of being able to go to the gym on her own, that's her thing now. She's doing Pilates classes. She's lifting. She goes and does strength training on a regular basis.
Good for her.
When it comes to nutrition, same thing. Do the do, right? Don't just talk a good game. If you're wanting to lead a healthy lifestyle, and 90% of that is eating well, balanced. And she learned that very early on. I think at 6 years old, she knew what her macronutrients were. She knew she could look at a plate and know where the proteins, the carbs, and fats were. Wow. She knew how to balance that out. And we always discussed, it's not about getting skinny. It's not about, losing weight. It's about being healthy. It's about being strong.
Yep.
And so she is a 21-year-old strong, disciplined young woman, which is incredible to see. And of course, that really fosters confidence, and that fosters, independence as well.
Yeah.
and it's serving her really well.
I love
At
that.
this point in her life, and it will serve her well for the rest of her life. I would
Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. He's like, I hope so.
I do.
Yeah. That's a nugget. That's a golden nugget right there. You got to do the do. So often I think
Not
parents.
the DEW.
Not the DEW. No Mountain Dew.
Definitely don't
We
do
are
that.
not promoting Mountain Dew here at all, ever. But yeah, like I think that so often parents fall into the trap of just telling kids what to do and telling them what's important in life and what to focus on. But you really don't have to tell them anything if you're living it.
Yeah, be the model.
Yeah. So the role modeling, do the do. The DO. Do the DO. So let's kind of flip that and looking now at your experience as a parent, as Tawny's dad, Smoothie's dad. How do you take that experience as a parent to better connect with the community that you serve in the fitness industry?
Well, I think when it comes to group exercise, for example, whenever I ask how many of you guys are moms, how many of you are dads, it's the majority of the participants, right? And so right then and there, there's a connection point immediately. We can relate on that level. And so relatability is the first thing, being able to relate to fellow parents so we can have that conversation. I've been pretty much at every stage along the way. The next step is, I would imagine it, perhaps marriage and children. Perhaps. Those only last.
You can tell you're not sure how you feel about it, but he's like, okay.
Papa T, I don't know about how that sounds. We're going to take our time on that. Slow down. But I think that's the first connection point, as a parent, is being able to speak to other fellow parents. We have a lot of us have very similar experiences, right?
That's true.
So
it is a shared experience that bonds us for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that is the first connection point. And then I think, because of that, and that's before class, that's after class, that's during class, we can connect on that level. But because, we are parents, we're able to kind of create that kind of, kind of deepen the level of connection with those people, as opposed to just superficially. If I didn't have that connection with some of these folks, I can't imagine going on hikes with a lot of these people that we do, having lunches, like post-workout lunches, or even pre-workout breakfasts with a lot of these people, hanging out, with these folks on different occasions, holidays and whatnot. So that's been the biggest connection point. I think that is the question, right? So, yeah.
And I think the other thing that's really cool, kind of going back to role modeling. So you've got people in your classes who are there experiencing you as a fitness professional, as a leader in the room. So they know that you take exercise seriously. Then when you talk about nutrition, they know you take nutrition seriously. But I think when you talk about the fact that you're a dad, they take that seriously too. That's another relation point. And the fact that you're making that a part of the experience just shows them by example, hey, I can be a great parent and still show up for my fitness. Because here's this amazing teacher, Terry, he's doing it. Like he talks about his daughter. He's got this amazing daughter. She's doing great. And
Always
yet he's
talking about
here. He's always talking. But, he's here. He's showing up. And so I can too.
Yeah.
So it's another opportunity through your role modeling, which, you do such an amazing job of.
Well, thank you. Well, I think
make an impact.
Yeah, it just allows us to show the human element, right? Rather than just that professional element.
We all deal with the human element.
Yeah.
It is true. So the last real question I have for you is, and this is one you asked me when the tables were turned. Actually, we didn't really turn the table, but
we're turning them now.
We're going to turn it now. But if you could go back to your younger self, what bit of guidance and direction, like what bit of advice would you give yourself as it comes to the idea of forward facing, just thriving as both a dad and a leader?
I think I would say take your time.
Oh, is patience a theme here?
It really is. Yeah, just in reflection, I would definitely say take your time.
Yeah.
And this is something that my dad always said when I was, a teenager, because I was always go, 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 playing
Yeah.
3 different sports, going to dance classes, going to singing, classes and performances and games and everything. I was always on the go. And he noticed a lot of the times I was always in a rush.
Yeah.
And he would see me, both my mom and dad would see me get overwhelmed, because there's so many, and trying to, make sure that I got really solid grades as well. They saw that there's, I was creating a lot of pressure for myself.
Yeah.
And I think what he meant by slow down, right, or take your time was enjoy the moment, right? Enjoy these moments. Because our parents, we didn't think so at the time, but they really do know better, and I really wish I would have taken that advice to heart and lived that advice. I think it wasn't until, and I mentioned this in one of the past episodes, I really have not appreciated the present. I really haven't appreciated, this moment until I went through the YTT, the yoga teacher training. That really caused me to slow down and appreciate the time that I'm currently in now, because I'm never getting it back ever again.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell my younger self. I would say it again.
Right.
Listen to your dad.
Listen to your dad.
Slow down.
When I was young, my mom always used to say, stop rushing. It's only going to slow you down. Meaning when you rush, you tend to make more
Overlook
mistakes,
things, yeah.
overlook things.
Absolutely.
And then it slows you down. You trip, you forget something,
Oh my
whatever, because
gosh.
you're constantly in go, go, go mode.
Absolutely.
So I always, when I find myself rushing and I'll forget my phone or my
Nope.
sunglasses, or whatever, I'm like, slow down, Kimberly. Because when you
Same.
rush, it's going to slow you down. So
Absolutely. I hear my dad's voice say the exact same thing, and I smile and I chill the heck out.
yeah, I love it. That's so awesome.
So so that's, I think, the best piece of advice, but it's not my own. It's passed down from my dad, and
Generational, if I could say the word, advice is some of the best.
it is. It is. They've been there, they've done it, and so have we now.
Now we get to pass it down. Tawny, Tyler, watch out.
Right.
All kinds of golden nuggets of wisdom coming your way. I bet you already do find yourself passing things down to Tawny that your parents shared with you.
Oh, for sure. There's lots.
For 21 years now.
There's lots of valuable stuff, and hopefully, if she hasn't picked any of it up now, hopefully, when she later on in life, when it applies, maybe even more so.
The seeds have been planted.
Yeah.
So before we wrap this up, is there anything else that, when it comes to the fact that you happen to be a father in our industry who empowers others every day and makes a positive impact on the world, anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
I think I would say have fun in this process, as a parent. A lot of us, because of the different hats that we wear as parents, as business owners, as employees, as pillars in our community and whatnot, a lot of times I think that we take life really, really seriously, too seriously. Everything, we kind of talked about this earlier on your episode, but everything has to be perfect, or as perfect as possible. We try to get as perfect as possible. And I think it's just enjoying the process is what we have to do, no matter what, whether it's parenting, whether it's our fitness journey. We have to figure out a way to enjoy the process, be creative if we have to, get advice from somebody else. How can I make this more fun so I continue to do more of it, and I continue to do it consistently, and I continue to do it well, again, whether it's parenting, whether it's fitness related, and or both. That is one of the things I just see so many people when they go to the gym, it's more like a have to rather than a get to.
Yeah.
And then also I see some parents who, treat having to take their kids to the practices or their games or their shows or their rehearsals as a have to rather than this is a get to.
Absolutely.
So enjoy, and make it a fun experience. And it'll just make life so much sweeter.
Yeah. And I think it makes your connection with the people you care about that much deeper.
Absolutely.
When you're in the moment with someone and they can tell that you're enjoying the moment, the experience, being with them, it's a game changer.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Unforgettable.
I love it. That is great advice. Really great advice. Well, beautiful people out there, I love that conversation. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that I got to ask my brother from another mother here some questions. I told you he was going to show up in the only way Terry knows how, and that is with his whole heart and with humor and straight up wisdom. So to all the dads out there, just some reminders: your presence matters, your energy echoes, and your ability to empower others, starting with your kids, that is a gift that keeps on giving. And to my co-host and my brother here, my dear, dear friend, Terry, thank you so much just for being a living example of what it means to lead your life with intention and with impact and with integrity, because we're calling this series Dads Who Empower. And anytime I get to spend time with you, I am both inspired and feel empowered. And I know for a fact that anyone else that spends time with you feels the same way, whether it's in a group setting in your classes or one-on-one in any scenario. And that is just a gift that you give the world. And I just want you to know that we as the world appreciate it.
You're the entire world.
I'm representing the world here. But the fact of the matter is that wasn't it Mother Teresa that said, don't leave another person without making them better. Something along those lines. I don't remember the words, but you live that. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Listeners listening or watching on YouTube, please do share this episode. If something lifted you up that Terry shared, and I'm sure that it did, so many golden nuggets there, share with others that could be inspired by it. If you're on one of the podcast platforms, we would love to get a review from you. It really helps us out in a big way. Follow the show, download the episodes, check us out, leave comments on YouTube or connect with us on Instagram. And we're doing Dads Who Empower the whole month of June. So more to come. But until next time, we just want you to keep moving, keep showing up, keep living your healthiest, happiest life.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it. This is Group X Appeal, and we appreciate you showing up for us. Thank you for the questions. It was a pleasure. And that is it for today. And so, as always, we encourage you to make it a great day. And why, Kimberly?
Because it's a great day to have.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Mwah. Much love.